So my whole thinking is with this, I mean, this on players 1, this is like taking out shit as fast, similar speed to what Grief would be taking him out on players 1, honestly. Alright, so I've been swapping around some gear on my Zeal Paladin, between the Zeal Paladin and my Frenzy Barb. And I decided to actually try Holy Shock instead of basically just strictly using Fanaticism. And the reason why I wanted to try this just as the aura as opposed to using Conviction and then using like Dual Dream or something is because I mostly play players 1 on Battle.net as far as farming items and things of that nature. And I think this is kind of like a best of both worlds. I can use Fanaticism and boost my attack rating and everything for when I'm fighting bosses, or if I get decrepified. But then for regular enemies, I can use the Holy Shock and gain the benefit of a stronger seal. Since I'm using Last Wish, this also takes care of my Crushing Blow issue with like not having enough Crushing Blow without using like G-Face. I actually think this would be perfectly fine with using Death in a Phase Blade as well. It would be pretty similar to the effects that I'm getting from this, except you wouldn't be getting the fade or the life tap that you would be getting from Last Wish. But it's more of a budget option. But I mean, if you have Enigma, you're probably not looking for budget options. So now I can use Crown of Ages. Actually could swap these out for Gore Riders, but at the same time I think this is just fine considering I'm using High Lords so that I can reach the max Zeal IAS. So, and I also get some Deadly Strike off of this, so I mean this is better than the Deadly Strike that I would be getting if I was wearing Gore Riders. So I got Last Wish, Laying of Hands. I really don't actually need Laying of Hands. I could actually use like Lava Gout so I get a little bit more attack rating, but mostly Holy Shock is for the trash mobs and for running around and stuff like that. And then when I get to the boss, I'm going to switch to Fanaticism for higher attack rating and everything like that. And if I wanted to, I could put the Angelic combo on, swap this out for Angelic, and I get a little bit faster clear speed for the boss themselves. But aside from that, I kind of like this build because Last Wish, since it doesn't do a whole lot of damage, using it in conjunction with Holy Shock does really well. If I were to use Dual Dream, then I would lose my ability to have 30 IAS on the helmet. So it's kind of like a balancing act, being able to hit that 72 IAS breakpoint for a Phase Blade while still being able to have high resistances, basically capped out resistances. In addition, I mean, like it's hard to have high attack rating in general on this type of character. Like if I use Demon Limb, basically that's going to be my attack rating. And then if I was to use something like Alma Negra, gain a little bit more, but still, you know, you're gonna need a whole lot of charms with attack rating and stuff on them in order to pump that up. I actually think I have a bunch of those on my barbarian, but for the sake of having a really good all-around character that has enough attack rating to deal with like the trash mobs and stuff like that, and then also like the aura's not really going to give a whole lot of AoE, but it's just going to add damage to my Zeal on a normally weak weapon. So now when I'm hitting them with this, it's not doing, you know, it's doing basically 7,000 less damage than what Grief would be doing, but at the same time it's also dealing Crushing Blow, which Grief doesn't have. So it's kind of like a best of both worlds situation when I have the Holy Shock on. And then if I get decrepified once the fade kicks in, then the curses are gonna last very short. So it's almost like I don't really need to have grief to get that 114 IAS to where with fanaticism I don't get decrepified at all. I think this is kind of like a best of both worlds. So I'll run around and I'll use Holy Shock, and then against the boss I'll use this. So I think it's kind of a best of both worlds. I could use Laying of Hands, but literally it's only going to give like, I don't know the exact math on it, but it's going to give like 200 damage or something because of that damage to demons. It's really offhand enhanced damage is very low. Like when you have a really high might or whatever, you're going to get like 800 damage or something like that. It's not like you're going to get a huge damage boost from it. Even like concentration, different auras and stuff, like they're not really gonna make or break the build. I don't feel like. I feel like at a certain point survivability and other things, having good resistances, like one thing that I like about this shield, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this one has the fastest block rate in the whole game. 65% faster block rate. I haven't seen a shield that has better than that. Let me know if there is one. So I got Last Wish, Laying of Hands, this ring literally because I can't wear the helmet without it, Nosferatus, Ravenfrost, Goblin Toe, Griswold's Honor. I'm gonna put 3 perfect diamonds in there. I just need to get one more flawless diamond, and then I'll take these out of there. But I could leave these because really lightning and fire res are the most important resistances, but I would like to get the poison res up because this is kind of annoying on Bale waves, getting hit with that poison from wave 2. High Lords, Enigma, and then Crown of Ages. I could swap the shield around and then wear Chains of Honor instead of Enigma, but I do like teleporting around because with the Barbarian, I like Chains of Honor more, especially that since I don't have Last Wish on the Barb anymore. There's situations where you can get in a really tough spot and you can teleport out of there, but with the Barbarian, if you've got Whirlwind, you can just whirl your way through the enemies to safety. That's my whole way of thinking. In addition to that, when you come across physically immune monsters, this Holy Shock just chops them down really quick, faster than Grief would take them out. You'd have to have like Atma Scarab or whatever. Then on my Mercenary, I got Lawbringer, Treachery, and then Crown of Thieves. I really like this aura, especially since I'm teleporting with this character, because it keeps him close enough to where if there's Stygian dolls or other things, it just knocks him away, especially for, you know, World Stone Keep or even like Chaos Sanctuary or something. Keeps him away. Essentially this character is not going to be like an amazing cows or anything like that, but I think it's basically like a good go everywhere character that's got pretty decent physical damage, not amazing by any means, but really high crushing blow. And then when I need to do more damage, as long as they're not lightning immune, and some of those lightning immunes wouldn't necessarily even be broken, you know. And then if I was to wear Dual Dream, I'd have worse resistances. I wouldn't hit the max Zeal IAS breakpoint. And considering, like, even with Dual Dream, you're gonna get some pretty good pulse damage, but it's not like, I don't know, it's mostly on trash mobs. So my whole thinking is with this, I mean, this on players 1, this is like taking out shit as fast, similar speed to a Grief would be taking them out on players 1, honestly. You know, 1 or 2 swipes and they're done. And then when they're so we'll go do some World Stone Keep real quick. I could also remedy the attack rating issues by using like a blessed aim mercenary. But I think using charms is probably the best way to go. Using a bunch of small charms with max damage and attack rating on them and stuff, so that I hit the enemies more. So I mean, look, I'll stand right up here real close, and as you can see, even when I get decrepified, it lasts a very short amount of time, and then Dale has to recast it on me in order to get it to... I mean, look how fast that decrep goes away. Take my strong hand. I really like that faster block rate though that you get. Really like that faster block rate that you get from this Griswold shield. I feel like this is a really slept on shield. And actually, if I wanted to, let's do this. Just for the sake of showcasing, because really this is more for when I'm using Holy Shock. Throw on G-Face, throw on Angelic Ring, and the Amulet. That way I'll still be hitting the max Zeal. 30, wait, let me see, 30, 36. No, I'm not going to be hitting max Zeal. Now I am. Now I got that 72, 45, 30, yep. Now I got it. Put on Fanaticism now. Now I got probably over 100 crushing blow. And now I'm going to be taking out Bale. With this little gear swap, I'm going to be taking out Bale much faster than I would if I was using Grief. If the RNG goes if the RNG and everything goes as planned, you know, you're going to have different situations from time to time. Like when you see people do Ubers or certain boss fights and it's a crazy fast kill or whatever, the RNG was on their side, and more than likely they made more than one attempt. It probably wasn't their first try. You know, I never asked, but the guy who finished Ubers in like 56 seconds with the kick assassin, I'm pretty sure that wasn't his first try at that record. But yeah, this is my current Zeal Paladin. I'm actually liking Last Wish more than I was liking Grief on this now that I've started using Holy Shock in addition to Fanaticism. And I like Storm Shield or other shields in general. I would maybe use Alma Negra and then throw a 15 IAS jewel in there. Use that to reach the breakpoint instead of using this Storm Shield, but this is good too. This is one I think that I made when I was leveling up my my Amazon. So yeah, I just think that there's a lot of cool ways that you can gear your characters, and even like have like little gear swaps that you would do like I did right there, specifically for the boss. But for everything else other than boss runs, this is what I would be running. Getting this damage in addition to a ton of crushing blow. How much crushing blow is that? 90% crushing blow. So I mean, you're gonna just be taking out everything really fast. The only reason I wanted to swap that stuff out for the Angelics combo is so that my attack rating would be in a more reasonable territory. But ideally I would have a bunch of better charms and stuff, but I mean I put a lot of charms to try to overcome some of the resistance issues that this character has, mainly because I'm wearing Enigma. But I think Enigma does better than Chains of Honor on this character. There could be an argument made that Chains of Honor is actually better because you're not going to be like something like a Zeal Paladin, you probably don't, if you're playing a slower build like that, as opposed to like a Hammerden or something, you probably don't want to skip over content. You want to do full clears and everything like that. Like when I go back to a Hammerden, probably sometime soon, I don't know when, I'm trying to kind of be patient and have fun with this and stop using a token every other day or so. But when I do that, I'm going to use my Hammerden for seal popping in Chaos Sanctuary when I'm trying to get some more runes. But honestly, there's not really too much more in the game that I want to get unless I just want to do like my Holy Grail and make every single rune word in the game and things of that nature. But yeah, this is by no means a budget build. Like, was really lucky to find a Crown of Aegis with 2 open sockets. You know, last wish. I got that as a Christmas present from a friend. This shield is not very common to find. I think I found it on Travancore or something like that. Enigma. I mean, I probably have far less of a life than majority of you people. I basically just make music all day and play video games. So, with that said, I hope everybody has a great day. I appreciate you, and stay tuned for more content. If you enjoy it, like and subscribe. If you hate it, drop a dislike and tell me why. And tell me you disliked, because I see it even if you don't see it. Or maybe you do see it. Maybe you're like me and you installed that Google Chrome extension that lets you see the YouTube dislikes, because it's still in there. It's, you know, if there's a dislike button, the metadata is out there. It's just within the HTML code. Most people, you know, are not aware of that or whatever, but I think that it's dumb they took away the visible dislike button, because the creator still sees it in their dashboard. So if it was to help the creator rather than help big corporations or movies with shitty trailers that nobody likes, you know, I don't know. But that's for a different discussion. Everybody have a good one.